she was a young woman at an early age, but she wanted to have kids. But the majority of her life, she didn't have any kids. She didn't have a kid. But she was dependent on, God had promised her something. And she didn't, his promise never came through. So she got agitated, she got aggravated, because she thought that God was not going to come out. God, he was on his time, not her time. When time for her to have a kid, she came to the age of 90 years old. And then she said, how can I conceive a baby at 90 years old? Well, it was God's time for her to receive that baby, not her time. But she was young, she was just what she wanted, but it was impossible because it wasn't out of God's time. God had a plan for her life. The plan was for her to have a kid at the age of 90 years old. But she didn't see it that way. She got very agitated, she got very aggravated. And so she finally had in the Old Testament, as Hebrews 11, you can see when she was old, she was the wife of Abraham and the mother of Isaac. Sarah was childless until she was 90 years old. And God had promised her that she would be a mother of nations and that she would conceive and very soon. But Sarah did not believe Isaac was born to Sarah and Abraham in their old age. They was both of them old in their old age. But they did conceive a baby, a son. But she still wasn't satisfied with her waiting period on God. She still wasn't waiting. She still uneasy. But she went through a lot to get where she get to because she had to first believe and God said to first trust God. And his word. He said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. Amen. Sometimes we get very impatient. Sometimes I ask God for something. And I don't get it right then. I'm like, God, where are you at? You know, you said you're going to do this. But he'll wait. It's not my time. I'm not in his timetable. God has his own timetable. And once we learn to accept God's timetable, accept God, we'll be okay. But sometimes we get like, why is he at? What time is he coming? I call him. Some days might take a year, might take 6 months. Because what he's on time, God. And he will come through. If he says, but he's not God that lies. If he says, trust me, we got to trust him. But sometimes I get like impatient, very impatient. If I ask God for something, I asked him that 2 days ago. I asked him that 3 days ago, but I didn't get it yet. I didn't get no answer yet. So sometimes I got to be still and wait to hear him go ahead and speak to me. But that's how sometimes we don't get like that. We just like to know what's going on. But in this, Sarah is not the only woman or the most important woman in the Bible. But she's also a complex person who struggles to follow God. And his promise seems to be unfilling. Sometimes because God to her, God planned unfilling for her. But at the end, she found it wasn't. It was only it was God's time to do what he said he was going to do. Amen. So after Sarah going through what she's going through, we should learn after her experience what she went through. We should learn we have to go through the same thing sometimes. Because life is not easy. And having a baby is not easy. Because Sarah had menopause, she had struggled through all that stuff. But she made it. It was good for her. She had hot flashes, all that stuff she had. But she still had to wait on God. She still had to wait on God. Wait on God. This promise came through for her. Then she understood. She said in her last words, you got to learn to trust and wait on God. Amen.